have a concept. You have a great concept. You guys are doing it, man. And it's an honor for me to just be, a small rock, man, in your mountain. I'm going to pop a top in your honor.
Mr. Doc Walker blessed us with his presence and knowledge.
We want to welcome in our next special guest, Haley Skarupa. She's a three-time world champion in women's ice hockey and most recently won Olympic gold with Team USA.
The Cap Stadium Series is definitely my favorite, obviously. I'm a huge Caps fan. I always have been. And to be there at that game with my teammates and for us to bring, our gold medals to there and share it with everyone in this area was really, really special for me. And just the support and it's been tremendous from everyone in this area, and you can feel that there at that game.
Welcome to Sports on the Hill podcast. Hashtag DC Sports Without the Politics with Carol and Robbie on True Radio Network.
And welcome to a special edition of Sports on the Hill podcast. We've got a really fun celebratory episode tonight. It's a little bit different than most people, than we usually do, I should say. Big time victory for the Commanders. I'm just super excited. We'll have some guests joining us very shortly. I wanted to give a quick little shout out. I was on Hurt's show talking to him. He was doing a post-game celebration, very drunk, but very awesome show over there. He's going to be on Monday night. So we've already booked him for the 10 o'clock slot. And he says, I'll give it whatever time we need, which would be awesome. Hurt was our very first producer for people who don't know the backstory on that, and gave us our shot on the True Radio Network when we started this show 9 years ago. And Carol and I then jumped on our own post game and celebrated, sort of a culmination of 9 years. 9 is my lucky number if people don't know that. So it's a big deal for me. And just to be in the NFC Championship game after it's been so long. Gil, were you a fan of the Redskins back in '91? Do you remember the last time they were in the NFC Championship?
I do. I was. I remember the season just before Joe Gibbs took over as coach, and how awful that team was, and how he turned that team around. And I believe that was 82 was that year. And then the very next year, that team, he took the team to the Super Bowl and they won it all. So it feels so weird, but in a good way. I feel like I'm 30 years younger, if you can believe that, because this team has all of those same vibes. And if I can throw something else in there, I'm kind of morbidly hoping that at the same time I get my dream of a 295 Super Bowl,
right?
Where it's the Ravens versus the Commanders. I'm not going to have any idea who to root for if that happens, but
right.
It would be totally amazing. But this team, you know what? I keep saying it's going to sound weird if next week they lose like 50-0. Even if that happens, which I don't think it'll happen, that's not going to take away from the season they've had. That's not going to take away from this most awesome story of redemption that I have ever seen a sports franchise go through in my life.
Yeah.
That's not hyperbole. That's the truth.
It's funny. As you did that, I made a combination logo that has the Ravens and the Commanders one on the screen to celebrate the fact that we had both, which is cool because now we had a post-game Ravens celebration episode last Saturday with you, and now it's like a thing that we've now had on Saturdays in football season. Too bad there's no more Saturdays in football, but I will take it. It's good for teams that play in Maryland, I guess. But just what a phenomenal game. I almost couldn't believe it. Like I kept wanting to tell myself, like, oh, I do believe, and all the people are making great points, and we had a great show on Monday, and Carol made great points. I was like, man, maybe we can do it, but like then the pessimistic DC sports fan in me is like, I don't know. Like, the
It's
Lions
like
are
we've
really
all
good.
we because of all of the failures, it's like we've taught ourselves to say, no, it's not okay to believe. And that's why I will forever love John Walton, because he was one of the first to say when the Caps made their run, yes, it is okay to believe. And
Yeah.
that's not just because of one team now. It's because of a lot of different teams. And I I'm still in disbelief of what I just saw. But
Yeah. I am too. It's
I love it. It's
Yeah, it was an incredible. I mean, just to put up 40 points, it's crazy. So they've played both of these Detroit in both runs in 91 and this one. They actually beat Detroit in the championship game in 91, the last time we were there, and we scored over 40 points against them both times, and our defense held in both of those games. And I knew we could put up points, and I knew it could be like a high scoring affair. I didn't necessarily know if it was going to be this high scoring. The over under was 55, which was blown out of the water. But at the same time, like some people were giving them 15 points over us, and we ultimately beat them, by 2 touchdowns. It's just,
it
um,
is it is so weird how patterns in history and sports repeat themselves.
yeah,
It is so weird how that happens.
yeah, it's definitely, I kind of was happy that we were there because they had not played in close games, and that's, Carol gave them the credit. So, and it's a clipped video, and I'm going to make a command for it before next week's show, for Carol calling it correctly. But for me, it's just an incredible feeling, an incredible just run for them. Jaden Daniels has ice in his veins, and it's just been awesome to watch.
I didn't know I did not see anybody outside of DC giving this team a chance. And then they scored they scored that touchdown to go ahead. And the first thing I thought of was that scene in Rocky 4 where he cuts the Russian. He cuts Drago and he's back in the corner after the round. And his corner man Duke says, "You see what you just did? You cut him. You hurt him. They're not a machine. They're men." And that's when I started to believe. I don't know about anybody else. That's when I started to believe, okay, this team can pull it out. They can do this. It doesn't matter what anybody else believes. They can do this.
Yeah, it's just remarkable. So it's interesting. Last week we played in a time of possession sort of way, and I thought that is a successful way to play football in the playoffs for sure. And it was how Tampa Bay wins most of their games. But I said that I wouldn't necessarily play the Lions game against them, which is the shootout style. But we did, and it worked. And so it's interesting stylistically that the coaches are taking risks and kind of mimicking their offense in some ways to what the other team is doing and try to out game plan for themselves. And it's worked so far, which is interesting.
It's as if they knew they were playing with house money all the time. And it, yes, they relied on the pass quite a bit. Jaden Daniels had 200 yards before the half was even over. But the running game didn't fail them when they needed it. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't pretty, but Robinson and Eckler were there when they needed them, and it all added up to success. And it just the Lions defense was just helpless to stop them. And it just after a whole year of being in the top 10 dominant, yes, I know they had like what was it 15 20 guys on IR. I get that, but still they had no answer for the Commanders offense at all.
Yeah, for sure. Just some really incredible stuff. I'm just gonna make sure. I know that some other people might be joining us. And but one other thing I'd like to talk to you about real quickly. I know this is a post game for football, but wow, the Capitals beating the pants off the Penguins and only allowing one goal all week is pretty solid goaltending there. Almost 200 minutes of shutout goaltending in a row for LT, and yeah, just some incredible play this week. What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, it's as one of a fellow podcaster of mine said, this team is definitely a wagon, and with that win, they're now tops in the whole league. So if the season were to end tomorrow, they would probably win the President's Trophy. That's not something I particularly enjoy saying or entertaining, but it gives me a lot of hope going into the playoffs. Um, yeah, I think, just as recently as last week, I've talked about their struggles and how they didn't look like a team that, was going to do much in the playoffs. And I don't want to say they fixed everything, but it looks like they fixed a lot of things. Granted, recently they've been playing a lot of teams that, most of them are going to be struggling to make the playoffs if they even, get a sniff at it. But, how better, who better to test all your fixes against than teams like that when they usually play down to them. And it's nice to see them not do that in this last stretch. So I think they're addressing a lot of things, and it really gives me a lot more confidence versus the team we saw the last 2 weeks.
Thank you, Tina, for the gigantifying the let's go. Gil doesn't watch it on Twitch. He doesn't see all the emotes that go flying, but I have made our mascot Slapshot into an emote on Twitch that so if you subscribe to us, you can do it. And he's clapping and saying, let's go. And so she's celebrating with us.
Well, on that subject, Robbie, have you seen the graphic that I sent you?
I have.
The why not?
In fact, I'm actually trying to put it up on the screen right now.
I don't want any credit for that. I actually, I kind of whipped that up myself, using Microsoft Paint because, I had time to kill and I was impressed after one of their wins. I think it was the win against Philadelphia. I just, was kind of doodling around. And I just, I heard somebody say, well, why not count the Commanders into the playoff picture? And I thought, okay, why let's make a little graphic to celebrate that. And I told you about this, I think last week. I was thinking of the 89 Orioles when they turned around from a last place season to jump into the playoffs. So spread that around on Twitch as much as you can. I don't care if I don't get any credit for it, but I would love to see Commanders fans see that because, again, this is probably, without a doubt, the greatest sports redemption story I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, for sure. Here, all right, I think I just found it. Let me see. I download it. See, this is the problem when I have two computers is like I have it on one, but can I get it to the other computer, So, and there it is. So I will drag it onto OBS and so people can see it where it's nice and big. So why not? There it is. Tina French just gifted to Davey is eating a sandwich.
Awesome.
Welcome in, Davey. Nice to see you here. So here we go. I got why not. We can put it. Where should we put it?
Well, we might. I don't know if Davey's a Rams fan, but we might end up playing them.
He's actually a Chargers fan.
Okay.
Ticket holder. That's unfortunate, but I'm sure he will be rooting for the Rams tomorrow because I would doubt he'd root for the Eagles. But especially he's actually grew up a Steelers fan, I believe. Fan of neither of them, but lives in LA, so obviously roots for them. And I believe is a season ticket holder for them as well. Dreaming Truth also gave a sub to Interested Panda, which is actually real life John Benson, one of my best friends and one of my groomsmen. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that very much. And thank you all for tuning in. It's so fun to have you guys all over both on Twitch, and thank you, Troy, and other people that are watching live on Facebook as well. We are doing a Commanders post-game celebration. I've already been on Hertz talking about him being on at 10 o'clock on Monday when we're going to do our post-game live. And but just incredible stuff. CP3 and I were celebrating on his. I know that Champ was on for a few minutes and a little bit of technical difficulties, but Champ, now that I've got you on, give everyone, let people know some of your thoughts. I'm going to refresh my beverage and I'll be right back, but I'll be listening on my phone. Wait, I don't know if I got Champ on.
Champ, you there?
I'm here. I think I froze.
There you are.
Yeah,
I think you're back now.
Yeah, we got you now.
Okay, cool.
Okay, what were you saying?
I think Robbie. Well, he actually had to go off camera. I think he just wanted to have you give the thoughts on the game. Your
Oh,
initial
okay.
thoughts.
Got you. I mean, I'm speechless at this point. Carroll said on his post game he was a freshman in high school the last time the Commanders were in the NFC Championship game. To put it into perspective, I was 9. I'm 42 now. It has been 33 years since this team has made it this far in the NFL postseason. I was at an age where I didn't understand football. I just cheered for them because they were the home team. Now 30 odd years on, where I've watched enough football to understand it, it's an incredible feeling. And it's crazy. One of the things that really stood out to me with this game was the balls on Quinn and on Kingsbury to go for it on 4th down 4 times in this game and get it 3 out of the 4. That first one was a bit of a fluke. They tried some kind of little weird trick play and it didn't work out for them. But the other 3 times, they were confident enough in their quarterback. They were confident enough in the offense to go out there and execute to get a first down and keep the chains moving. And then they even got a gift near the goal line where the Lions had 12 men on the field on defense on a 4th and 2, and that gave them the first down.
Couldn't believe that.
That was crazy. That we were going for on 4th and 2 near the goal line, and we get a gift of 12 men on the field for a first down. Unfreaking believable that played out the way that it did. And I mean, Jared Goff can be good when he wants to, but on this game, man, that secondary had him, man. 3 interceptions, 2 from Sam Rastil, who's a rookie. People tend to forget Sam Rastil is a rookie from Michigan. Shout out Jim Harbaugh, who's sitting at home as well. Sam Rastil got 2 interceptions. That second interception he got was so good. It was off that underthrown ball from Jameson Williams on that trick play. He underthrows the ball. Sam Rastil makes a great catch on the interception. Unbelievable. And then the third one, Jeremy Chin, Johnny on the spot, in the right place at the right time as they're trying to drive. Just boom, dagger. Just a dagger. Lions fans were already leaving for a field. Whoever was left, they started leaving even faster after that interception. It was just unbelievable how this team played all game long. It was unbelievable.
Hey, Champ, I got to ask you something.
Yes.
I know it's playoffs, but does Sandra still at least get into the conversation now of Defensive Rookie of the Year?
I'm not.
It can't be because it's a regular season award. Like they just don't even look at it. You know.
I know, but he has come so far, so fast.
I know. No, I think it's great, and he would be probably the first to tell you that he would care less about the award and to play his best football right now when it matters most. That's what I love about this team is no one seems to think they're above it, right? And it's an incredible thing to see a team come together so quickly, give, the GM, the ownership, everybody a huge part of this, right? Because to be able to turn this around so quickly, and man, Jaden Daniels just looks so calm and collected. I mean, the fact that Tom Brady was just shocked about how it was, and so was the other commentator, and they were just, gushing over him, saying, and Carroll was so funny because he was talking on his live about how just happy he was that people can't, say bad things about us. They actually have to find good things to say about us, which is, so hard for them because most people just picked us to be, barely, in it at all. But I do want to welcome in a couple of people real fast. Stuart is in chat, and welcome on in. Also, Ace Caltor. So Adrian is in chat. Davey as well, and Tina, of course. Interested Panda as well. So thank you everybody for tuning in. We have over 10 people on here for a pop-up show and stuff like that. So hopefully the audio sounds okay to you guys. And it's been a fabulous time. I was hearing that you talking, Champ, about how it's been so long since you've been able to be a part of something like this, and Um, uh, it's just it's kind of hard to put into words, what these sort of moments mean, to us. Especially, I was 6 the last time, which is the exact age that my son is right now, which is wild to me that, like, we're talking about how patterns happen, Gil, right? And so just it's so cool to be able to celebrate with him, because he was so upset that the Texans lost earlier, and I was thinking to myself, I would take a Texans loss, to Kansas City. I was obviously rooting for them earlier. Obviously for us to have a big win here. But just oh my God, the Caps winning and then the Commanders winning. Just what a night it's been. Um, Troy Evans is asking from Facebook, Robbie, who would you want to play, the Eagles or the Rams? I would prefer the Rams for sure. The Eagles are a hard team to beat in Philly, and so I think that they would definitely be a tough one. Gil, who would you rather play, do you think?
Well, they actually beat Philly before, so they would come in with that confidence. But I don't know. It was, as the announcer said, a buzzer beater. It took a buzzer beater to beat them. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to have that kind of sequence against them again. I don't want to say luck because it wasn't luck. Um, I guess, yeah. I guess the short answer would be the Rams then, given all that.
Yeah, I think so. Champ, we were talking about who Troy asked from Facebook, who would we rather face in the next round? Would you rather face the Rams or the dreaded Eagles? What are your thoughts?
I'm cool with either or, but I would prefer the Rams. The Rams, Stafford is a really good quarterback, but the problem is they don't have a very consistent run game. Karen Williams isn't a game breaking running back. And so their reliance is going to be on Puka Nakua and on Cooper Cup in that passing game, which is going to make them very predictable. Whereas with the Eagles, you know that the Eagles have so many weapons with Hurts at quarterback, Saquon in the backfield, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, even freaking Jahan Dotson, the former Commander, doing this thing as well. So I would prefer the Rams, but we have to face the Eagles in Philly for the NFC Championship. As a Commanders fan, I'm game because yes, they beat us on Thursday night earlier on in the season, but we did beat them despite 5 turnovers. That should show you. And then, of course, a lot of the Eagles fans are going to be like, "Well, y'all beat us, and we had Kenny Pickett at quarterback, but yeah, we gave y'all y'all had 5 takeaways, and y'all still lost." So that's not. Y'all can't sit there and say, "Oh, we had Kenny Pickett." We gave y'all the ball 5 times, and y'all still lost. So don't sit there and say, "Oh, we had a backup quarterback." No, y'all got 5 takeaways as y'all still lost. So it doesn't matter who's the quarterback. Y'all got the ball 5 times given to y'all by us, and y'all still lost. So I'm game with whoever it is. I'll be rooting for the Rams because fuck the Eagles.
Right. I'm with you 100%. Well, especially because, like, it's 1-on-1, it's a rubber match, and we both have tape and that anger and the thing. I love the fact that the Rams really didn't have a whole lot of tape on like what they do against us specifically, right? I mean, obviously you have all the games that have played previously that you're going to watch and try to get like clues from. But the Eagles have played against us twice. They know the inside dirt way more than the Rams would because they felt it. They've been it. They've just lost to us. They have that, want to get back against us, mentality. And so from that reason, I would rather play the Rams, just because they haven't played against us. They don't really know what we're about. And now we're playing with even more house money. I mean, we had house money this week. Like, what do you call it next? I just, but man, what an incredible win. I'm just so happy for Rally Captain, and other people who went to this game and people that we see on Facebook. And just people believed, and there was a big contingency. It was the most expensive tickets, outside of the Super Bowl in history. And still a lot of DC fans paid and went to this game. And there was rumors saying that they were taking over a chance in the second half there. And yeah, just some incredible stuff. But Ken, any more thoughts that you have on this team?
Clearly, with the revitalization of this team, Commanders fans are traveling. I mean, we took over the Tampa Bay field during the wild card game, you could hear more Commanders fans cheering than Bucks fans. And then we go to Ford Field and we take over that field. Just imagine if we end up going, we go to Philly though. Philly's gonna be a different story because the Philly fans are ruthless. Did y'all see the viral shit that went around of that Philly fan calling that Packers girl see you next Tuesday?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they banned that Bama and he got fired from his job for that crap.
It's amazing. What a story.
Philly fans are nasty. That's another reason why I would much rather go to LA or not LA. Well, go out west because I know that at least they're going to be a lot more cordial. They're just going to be trash talking, but it's not going to get to the levels of calling each other those disgusting names and going viral and end up getting fired.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with your assessment 100% on that. So it's funny because I think I hate Philly fans more than like I hate the team per se, right? I just like that fan base has always been, and I went to college there, so I have a lot of history with them. But it's so annoying to me that my dad roots for all the NFC teams except for the Cowboys. It pisses me off to no end because he was like, I can't lose if it's Eagles. No, you can definitely lose. There's only one team here. Like, but he's like, I lived in all of them. Like, but Dad, you've lived here for like now 40 plus years. Like you lived in Philly for 4. Like, how could that possibly, even be remotely similar? I don't know. Like, I also lived in Philly for 5 years, but don't feel even a little bit like, because like I don't know, because 35 is much more than 4. But it's just for me, I don't really want to give them the satisfaction. So I'm definitely rooting for the Rams. And God, I hate the Eagles. So yeah. Right now he's in Bali and he was watching the game with me, which was wild because we tried a VPN that I had and it was working for the first game, but they, I guess, shut it off. They were like, screw these people. They're really not here. So he ended up getting the NFL. They actually have an app and a pass that you can do for the playoffs for international people, which makes sense. And so he watched it and we like FaceTimed and it's just amazing that he could be like in Bali on the other side of the world and we can have that moment still watching the football game together and celebrating it. So shout out to him. I know he's not on this right now because it's lunchtime there, but I am sure that he is super excited. He was very much so, including for the Capitals too, which is, it's funny because it's just a regular season game against the Pittsburgh, but like, I don't know, just there's always something about beating that team. You can
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, exactly. Troy says, I think it's going to snow there. Oh yeah, in Philly, probably. It's going to snow here tomorrow a lot, so I wouldn't be surprised about that. So Davey entered chat. He was like, hey, easy. I'm sorry, Davey. He is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. But you don't root for the for the dreaded Penguins. I believe Davey is a LA fan of hockey. I think he's always been an LA fan of hockey, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Ace is wanting a Beltway Super Bowl. Interested Panda is saying, I don't hate the Steelers nearly as much as the Eagles. No, I agree. Although, I mean, I do like the Ravens too. So Steelers are definitely a top 5 most hated, but I don't hate them more than the Eagles. So if we're putting it on that level. For me, it's just the team. I have no opinions of the city yet. Never been there. Yeah. So that's always funny where they're a fan of a team in a city that you've never been, which is crazy. But I understand.
That's why I give shit to Cowboys fans that live here in DC have never been to Dallas. Like, you've never been to Dallas. Why are you a fan of the freaking Cowboys, you idiot?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I hate that. He said, "Yep." Like
Robbie, my cousin. God,
we're a lot of Lakers fans too.
I love my cousin Lauren. I love my cousin Lauren. God bless her. But she posted something on Facebook earlier today before the game even started. She called a Detroit Buffalo Super Bowl. I wanted to comment on a post that said, "Cuz this aged poorly." I think I'm gonna go find that post and put that on there. I was like, "Cuz this aged poorly."
Oh my God, there was so many Lions fans talking so much shit on the internet too. There were just like a lot of like sneaking up and like scaring you memes, and just like he's like, haha, you thought you did something, but you did nothing, right? But like, wow, we actually did do something. I did promise Tina French that I would make merch if we won this game. So
Oh, now you
Tina,
gotta make, now you
Now
gotta
you
make it,
got it.
bro.
I have
Hey,
to
there you
make it
go.
now. So I will make it. So maybe we can come up with part of this as a slogan for it. It has to do something about donking because we were talking about donking our way into the next round. But so we need some sort of slogan, and we will design that. Hell, we could do it right now.
The commander's symbol hitting off the upright and going past maybe.
Yeah, hold
Something
on.
like that.
Yeah, we can do something real quickly. But yeah, so if people have ideas in the chat for a slogan about donking and moving on, and we can design that here. Donking for the division. I'm coming for the championship. All right. I love it. Keep on coming. I'm gonna do a couple things real quickly to switch screens so that people could see Photoshop in a minute. But Gil, I know that you said that you're gonna have to go pretty soon, so I was gonna let you give your final thoughts, and then I might do a quick little Photoshop here.
Yeah, I can't wait for next week. Shoot, I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow's games. I'm kind of pulling for the Rams. I got nothing against them, but yeah, I think the Commanders match up a lot better against them, and naturally, I'm pulling for my Ravens against the Bills. I don't know what to expect on that game. That that's either going to go. I don't think there's going to be a middle ground. I think that's either going to be a shootout like this one was, or a real defensive struggle. Because the Bills took a long time to get going in their game against the Broncos. So that's the one knock I have against them. You don't know what team's going to show up. And then once they did get going, they really got going. And the thing I'm afraid of is the Ravens don't have a pass defense to speak of. At least they haven't most of the year. So if Josh Allen, you know, brings his A game, it might be a long night. But really pulling for my Ravens tomorrow night, and one step closer to a Beltway Super Bowl. I'm hoping, sort of.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, and what time are you recording your podcast tomorrow?
Definitely before the game for the night game, which starts is a 6:30 kickoff, as I understand it. So, unless something drastically changes, probably our usual time, 5 Eastern tomorrow, we can bump it up. Of course, we got our open invitation. Anybody wants to talk Caps hockey with us can come on. You got a better time that day tomorrow. We'll work with you, Anna and I. Otherwise, it'll be us doing our record for we usually take about an hour to do our episodes.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I hope that people do take you up on it. I was able to join a couple of weeks ago. It's always a lot of fun to talk Capitals with Gil. Is Anna going to be joining as well on tomorrow's episode?
Anna will be co-hosting or you're asking about Monday?
No, I was asking about tomorrow.
Or power play point. Yeah, she'll be with me tomorrow to record our next episode.
It'll be on Monday, but I haven't
Davey
asked
is
yet.
wild. Davey said, actually, for me, it's ABC. Anybody but the Chiefs.
Yes. Maybe that should be the merch that I make. But I hate that it just seems so easy for them, right? Like Kelsey just comes alive and just takes over a game and
catches 3 passes, 4 passes, or whatever it was, and that's enough for them.
Sounds good. Well, Gail, thank you so much. I look forward to the first hour, 9 o'clock, Sports on the Hill podcast. Also, I'll do the Gil command for people who might not know. Definitely check out the Power Play Point podcast. It's on the podcast merch button on sportsothp.com. It's on the podcast partners button on sportsothp.com. And it's always fun to talk hockey with Gil, and I can't wait for Monday to talk about the 3 big wins.
I can't either, and a little bit of a spoiler alert. I kind of jazzed up our goal review videos a bit, so there's kind of a slightly more bonus content on a few of those.
Awesome. I look forward to checking them out. I kind of like that I don't even look at them ahead of time, so it's like a surprise for me.
I love that you do that, because I love that getting your first reaction.
Yeah, while we're live.
streaming.
So that's a lot of fun. So people don't know, we actually show live goal scoring information on air, showing where the plays were developed. I think that it's definitely added something to our coverage this year, and we can really sort of see goal after goal, like what we're doing correctly. It's fun to definitely go back and check out that as well. And Champ, we have had so much fun. We're gonna switch. I think I am gonna do a quick little graphic if you want to stay with me, Champ, but it's up to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
But Gil, thank you so much. I look forward to 9 o'clock on Monday, and we'll either have C4 or Anna join us for that, the 3-0 week with only one goal scored against us. Just incredible stuff. And then at 10 o'clock hour, we'll talk football. But we always love having Gil on, and see you soon. And good luck to the Ravens tomorrow.
Thank you so much, and I'd love to see the graphic and a sample of the merch you come up with. Definitely want to see that. We'll definitely hype that on our end.
Yep, the why not graphic. I actually made a bar above our heads if you're watching the live feed, so I put it up there
Awesome.
live on air, and we'll keep that up there for the rest of tonight's show. I might have to copy it over to the next scene, so we might have to do some OBS work live on air. But thank you, Gil, for the graphic, and thank you so much for joining us for 2 weeks in a row.
Thanks for having me, and hail to the Commanders!
Yes,
Woo!
sir.
All right, night, guys, night, champ.
Night.
Yes, yes. All right. With that, I'm going to do a couple of little things to see if I can get this to work.
I like that wide nuts up on the bar there. The Rev T, shout out to Rev T. This actually got shouted out by B Mitch on the post game after the Tampa Bay win. He had the slogan all year long. He even had it in the preseason. Why not us? And I've been saying that all night long during this game. Why not us? Why not us? We went from a 4-win team last season, absolutely atrocious, to we're in the NFC Championship game. Let me say that again for those who can't hear me. We are in the NFC Championship game. We are either going to Arizona or Philadelphia to play for a chance to make the Super Bowl. A year after only winning 4 games all freaking season. Are you kidding me?
It's pretty incredible, for sure. I can't believe it either. I'm trying to catch a Pokemon real fast. Before to Slick Fi, the Slick Fox might jump away. All right, I think I got the graphics up and running, so people can see it. It's not. Okay.
Tina, you're not dreaming. Trust me. This is not a fever dream. This is not an actual dream. This is freaking reality. And the DC sports teams went 2 for 3 tonight because the Wizards lost to the.
I know, it was so funny. It was so funny. CP3 was like, and the Wizards are up too. I was like, that's not lasting. If it is, it's the biggest night in DC sports history. I still think it could be. It's definitely one of them. But yeah, just incredible stuff. I'm so happy that Tina and Adrian and all of my friends get to be here with me. Ken, thank you for jumping on this live with me. I had so much fun with CP3 and Hurt earlier, but I knew it's like they only want to be on for 10 minutes. I don't want to be just on for 10 minutes. I'm gonna be jazzed and doing shit. I should be working on the next dive video, but I'll work on that tomorrow on my snow day. But tonight we're gonna make this graphic. I promise Tina, she's here. I never do an art stream, right? So we can celebrate the victory we already have while I draw something. So people want to come up with any more logos, I'll put up a quick little poll for our top 3. So if you had any that you really liked and want to share them again with us, and it's it's crazy because I feel like we donked our way into this round, but then we did something incredible tonight. So it could be something about donking our way and then having something to do with related to tonight as well. It doesn't have to just be about the first round. I did. It's just some incredible stuff. And Adrian says DC football has been a joke for years. I love to see this renaissance. I agree. I can't believe we're able to turn it around so quickly. And yeah, I'm just going back and reading some of chat that I missed during that last little bit.
You know what's funny, Robbie, is that during that game, I was sitting here playing Madden because I started a new superstar quarterback career and whatnot. And as we were playing the Lions, I got drafted to the Commanders, and I just re-signed with them after we won a Super Bowl in my fourth season. And I was playing the Bears. We put up 45 against the Detroit Lions, and at the same time, I put up 49 against the Bears. So with the Commanders, so it was like really really cool little synergy there. Facing two NFC North teams and putting up 40 plus against them.
I was just having an idea. So I love what Gil's doing with Why Not, and then there's Why Not Us, right? What Rev T is doing, right? So
Absolutely.
we could do something, that's a play off of that, where it's like Why Not Us having like a graphic that about Donk in the first round, and then something about beating the Lions in the second round, and then something like where does it go from here or something, I was thinking because it could be kind of cool to play off of all that. Dunk for the division on the front with the ball going off the upright. Um, yeah, clutch for the championship on the back. Nice. I like some of these ideas here. We got if other people have ideas, we can throw them in as well. And yeah. So the key is I don't want to obviously use commanders or any terminology that's copywritten, right? That's kind of the goal of it. So that way we can put it up on and if anybody wants to pick it up. We can also do it on a transparent background, so we can have different color options as well if we want to do that. And then fourth wall is great because you can actually gift merch and designs. And so if we design this, I could put it on a bunch of different things, including sweatshirts, t-shirts, stickers, whatever we want to do with that. So, yeah. So, Tina, let me know what some of your thoughts are because I definitely it was your idea originally that we sort of talked about it last week on the show. It was kind of almost like a bet. And yeah, it's pretty incredible stuff here. But let's just start off with maybe a little bit of what Gil had done. Um, I can just bring it into the screen so that way we can talk about it. Do you have any thoughts on merch that you'd like to see, Champ?
Not really. I would leave it up to the folks and the good folks in the Twitch chat to come up with something pretty creative. They seem like they've been coming up with some good ideas so far. I'm waiting to hear from Tina though. What she has in terms of nothing's coming to me. Never mind. Okay.
Too much pressure. So I'm just bringing in Gil's graphic right here, just as a sort of inspiration. And I kind of like the idea of using the commander's W. My only problem is like I feel like that would be copywritten. So like it'd almost be good if at some point we can incorporate RS in there, because it's our logo. And so uh yeah, I'm trying to think, maybe we can talk about the season so far or something. Um, so we got the why not, which I do like. I get nervous because they use the actual W. And so I think I want to be careful on copyright rules and stuff like that. But yeah. Um Yeah, so why so I do kind of like why not us. So let's just write down some of these ideas on the screen and then we can sort of like narrow it down. I'm gonna switch fonts. That was just a font that I was using for something. Um so I'm trying to see.
No, we can't do Major Tuddy merch, Tina, because it's copywritten.
Yeah. So I'm trying to do something that would be, unique to us. That's why I think we should just leave it be simple.
Right.
Um, we can still do why not us. So um I'm just thinking thinking about ideas I've had, and we can write these out just as text, and then we could actually use these as graphical elements that we could then take apart, using RS or something like that. Um, Comic Sans do it. No, I'm gonna keep something very simple, I think. And I'm just gonna bring in a logo file real quickly, just so we have it if we want to grab elements of that as well. Do, 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 do. Um, just seeing what the latest version of the logo, because I do remake it a lot for different projects and things like that. So you can see some of the behind the scenes process. I know I'm not sharing all of my screens right now, so you can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm looking in the back end for. I realize that I don't think that this is the computer that I actually designed it on, so I may have to download some files.
Interested Panda's putting in some good suggestions in the Twitch chat.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I like that. So, all right, we can do that. So it's 12 and 5. And for a second. And then so do that, and then all right. Nice. Little Sean, this is our EO, Raise Hell. Nice. Welcome on in. Hi Thunderhead. Welcome on in. Thank you guys. Super happy for you guys to be joining us on this pop-up show, which is now turning into an art stream. You never know what's gonna happen. And I always like doing art streams, never have the time, so it's kind of do. So we got 12 and 5, Donker to the next round. What do we say about tonight, Jam? That's the next thing.
I mean,
Taming a lion?
yeah.
I don't know. This is the first thing that came to my head, but we can
Adrian kind of said that earlier.
yeah. I cried real tears. So yeah. Little Sean, I'm gonna ask, how'd you find us? I'm excited that you found us talking on Twitch. You're our first time chatter. Thunderhead I know from other chats, but welcome on in. And yeah, I'm happy that you're here to join us for this. Taming the lions. Um, and I think that's really what it is, right? I don't know. I like and you can't like get us for that. It's not a copyright. What I was thinking of, like, maybe doing it in the color of the team, so like the team colors that we beat. Right. So you have
Yeah,
like
no, that's actually good. That's actually good because then they'll know. Like, yeah,
yeah.
that's actually good.
So we can do it. Wow, Tampa Bay has a lot of colors: red, orange, black, gray, and pewter. Jesus Christ! I wanted to do like a gradient, but like, holy fuck, that's a lot of. It's a big color. It doesn't. All right. Okay. Hold on. This is most of this, though. I'm gonna use these as my and stuff like that. So we can actually I'm gonna teach you guys a little bit of Photoshop real fast. So these are the colors, right? Of the bucks that we beat, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and make them on their own layers real fast. So now we are dunking to the next round on its own layer. And we're going to double click the layer. We're going to add a gradient overlay. I'm going to grab something that's in the oranges as just as a template, right? And I'm going to grab the first color, which is here. I'm gonna grab a middle color, which is this one, and then we're gonna grab the last color, which is that one, and then we can sort of shift it a little bit if we want to dock it to the next round. And then we could add some cool effects.
By the way, for anybody out there that's a video game player, if you play Madden 25 and you play as Tampa Bay or against Tampa Bay, you could change their uniforms to those ugly ass creamsicle colors they had back in the day. That's one of the options.
That's awesome. But I think that that's good though, right? That gives you a feeling of Tampa Bay without saying Tampa Bay, right?
Exactly.
I do it with the Lions too, so we'll get the Lions colors.
Yeah, I like that. A lot of the teams on Madden, with the exception of the Commanders, they have uh options with their uniforms of their old school. Of course, Commanders, you're not going to have that because of the old name and everything like that. So, you don't have the option of going old school with the Commanders. The only option you have is with their road uniforms is either the white with the burgundy pants or the white or all white and stuff like that. And then home, you have burgundy on white, burgundy on burgundy, or burgundy on gold.
Yeah.
And then the alternate is all black, which I like to use a lot.
Yeah, for sure. So these are white and gray and but mostly blue. So I'm gonna like shift this down and shift. Oops. So, oops. Why did that go? Oh. I really want it mostly the blue, right? I feel like that's when people think about it. It was really. Ooh, that's kind of cool. You could also do it like that, where I hadn't thought about that. Wonder if I do that. Let's go -60. Just I want to try some things. So if I go -60 on this. If I do that, I want to switch these.
Man, if I was still drinking, man, I'd probably be as drunk as Hurt right now. I'd be probably fucked up as Hurt right now, bro.
Yeah,
Oh man,
for
it's
sure.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the creamsicle orange. I don't. Why is it doing? Sorry, this thing is not cooperating. I want it to be more red than orange, just because I really just don't equate them with. There we go.
Oh man, Minnesota's injured both of my top running backs in this game, man. Damn, I'm down to Hubbard now as my running back. Holy crap.
All right,
All
so
right,
we're
that's
gonna
fine.
do.
527. That's all right.
All right, so I'm gonna take these strokes. I'm gonna add, and then I'm gonna add a outer glow. I'm gonna take out the background for a second. And I'm gonna put it on like a crazy color just so I can sort of see what I'm working with. It will not be on the screen, but it's a way to check. So
Should have changed the name to the Landover Potatoes, really.
um
And then Adrian says that's comment of the year. I mean, we are still early in 2025. I'm pretty sure there's going to be even better comments that's going to come, AJ. Let's not award that one just yet. Just
copy layer style. Sorry, I'm doing some back end stuff here. I'm changing layer styles, gonna try a couple of different designs to see what I like more. So I change this color to so I have to redo this.
Terry McLaurin is such a cheat code on Madden 25. It's freaking amazing. Oh, wait, they're reviewing it? Okay.
All right, I like how that looks better. So
Touchdown. What are you talking about?
So I'm gonna do this one more time. Paste the layer style here. And then I'm gonna change these colors to burgundy and gold. Just grab the
Oh, I see
true.
what you're saying, Adrian. Yeah, the potato comment with Dan Snyder. Yo, my brother posted something on Facebook, I think like a week ago after the Tampa Bay victory, saying, I know that, Snyder got billions for selling the team. I'm pretty sure he's somewhere punching air right now. He sells the team, and a year later they're in the NFC Championship game. He got to be crying in the car right now.
I mean, he's crying with a bunch of $1 billion, so
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's just throwing that out there. I wouldn't be mind if still. I mean, it's just still his dream team. I'm sure he's out there happy. I mean, that was the team he grew up rooting for. So I don't think suddenly he's not a fan of them.
True.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to get this thing created correctly. I'm actually gonna make my own gradient because I don't like what it's doing.
No worries. I'm just sitting here trying to beat the Vikings. We just lost to the freaking Colts by 6. I was trying to lead a last second drive to get us the victory, and we ended up losing. So I'm trying to get a victory here. I'm pissed off.
And then it's decide what type of gradient I want.
He really did, Panda. He did treat we. That was the running joke with Dan Snyder when he first bought the team back in late '90s in 1999. Was that well 97, 98 was that he treated the Commanders, the Redskins when they were called back then, as like a fantasy football team, and that's why we ended up with like Adam Archuleta and and a past prime Deion Sanders and crap like that. And Albert Hainsworth. Those were Albert Hainsworth and Adam Archuleta were two of the most worthless signings on defense we've ever had, ever.
Yeah, definitely. Um,
Who wouldn't want a prime Deion on their team? Well, except for the fact that Deion was past his prime. That man was past his prime when we signed him. If he was in his prime when we signed him, I wouldn't have been mad, but he was past his prime at that point. And Adam Archuleta, I don't know what the heck happened with that guy. Jesus Christ.
yeah, I still just can't believe that we won this.
Interesting fantasy. Oh my God, I'm still mad about Albert Hainsworth. I think 99.9% of Commanders fans are still mad about Albert Hainsworth.
Yeah,
Fitzmagic, Fitzpatrick wasn't bad. He wasn't that good, but he wasn't bad. I will say that. I like Fitzmagic.
I'm just working on.
Well, Sean said he's been mad since RG3's injury. That's about 12, 13 years there, pal.
Yeah. All right. What else do we need? So I snuck our logo into season so far. So
I like that.
do you think I should do two, one for the or just leave it?
Leave
Just have
leave the one. Leave the one.
leave the one.
You don't want to overdo it.
Yeah, I think so too. But maybe I do something cool. Hold on. Another idea.
Though I would hold off on putting this out until after the NFC Championship game. Because imagine we win the NFC Championship game. Imagine.
You think so? You don't think I just post this? All right. I mean, I can hold off.
Yeah, because you never know how the NFC Championship game is going to go. I mean, it would
I
be
just
good to
feel like
put
no
out.
one's gonna, if we lose that game though, like no one's gonna buy it, you know? Because like, why would you want to remember? It just
True, true, very true.
that's what I was saying. We could just put this out this week, and if people want to, but I don't even know if it'll get to people by there. But we can still remember these things. I mean, I might for how I get one, you know. So
I'll dead ass buy one of those.
yeah.
Unless
Uh,
someone unless someone wants to gift it to me. No, I'm just kidding.
well, that's why I'm hoping that maybe we can use the gift feature and see if somebody wins it, you know. Kind of want to see something. So this is the shape of the Lombardi Trophy. So like, let's play out some videos. It tunes down. So just trying to see the shape. Because I once made the Capitals when they won like into the Stanley Cup and stuff like that. So I was just trying to see what the shape would be for that. Um, I was thinking about doing something where like we fade back the logo behind it, you know, like a watermark.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. We get the 12 and 5 kind of over the
Not gonna lie, that looks pretty cool.
maybe instead of season so far, we just talk about like the, the year, you know,
Yeah, I think that would be a good one as well.
ignore this.
2024-25 season.
There you go. I think I like that better. What do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Trying to decide whether or not I want like it to be like more spaced out or I like it bunched. You know, that's where I'm at right now. Just
yeah.
gonna see a couple of things, just try it out if adding more space helps or hurts.
All right, just like Jaden Daniels and them did get in Detroit, time to get into the victory formation and get out of Minnesota.
Nice. Um,
So I said I like this design, Robbie. This is really good.
Yeah, I like it too. I've been taming the lions down a little bit, and I'm gonna decide how much.
Now, my question is, would this be in the front or would this be in the back? Is my question.
Hmm.
Aha.
Yeah.
Aha.
I don't know. And then what would be on the other side in that case? You know?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, this is a good design, but like, what are you gonna put on? Where is it gonna go? And then what's gonna be on the other side of where that is?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Adrian, you might be right though. That bye week might have it bit them in the ass. It didn't bite the Chiefs in the ass, but it definitely bit the Lions in the ass.
Well, I don't think had they had that before where they had the bye. I know the Chiefs have had that situation before, so maybe they don't know how to.
Yeah, I don't think Detroit's had that situation before where they've been in the playoffs and had a bye. I don't think they've been there before.
Yeah. I think that my gut is like this is on the front, and then you could just have like our podcast or just the S on the back, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Tina, you still in chat? I'd like to get her thoughts on this.
Yeah,
Um,
Tina said she wasn't gonna be able to sleep.
yeah. So big logo on the back, and then so Tina, do you think this should be the front or the back? You think this on the front? Yeah. All right, and we got other. I'm honest, and I will not be offended. I've gone through many critiques in college and stuff like that. I want people's honest opinions, what they'd like to see. Because I can save this as a version. We can try other stuff. You know, this does not have to be the final version. You know, so I'll zoom in a little bit so people can see it a little bit
I like
better.
what Tina just said. She says, I like it, but I thought it was doink, not donk.
It can be Doink.
Yeah, it is doink.
Okay. Doink. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
There you go.
this is why you go through a crit phase, which is why I also love having a live audience versus just designing and yeah. So um and one of the things I love about this is there's nothing copyright written in this, you know?
No, not at all. Not at all. This is perfect.
So and I do like that the logo or the our 12 and 5 fits into the DC and then boom, boom, boom. And yeah, because
By
that's
the
one thing.
way,
Yeah,
Jared Goff, they talked to Jared Goff after the game, and he had this to say about his performance where he was responsible for all 4 turnovers in the game, the 3 interceptions, and the strip sack fumble. Quote, I know I'm repeating myself at this point, but had I played better, do we win? Possibly. And that's the part that'll eat me alive all off season, end quote.
yeah. We
He
really
also
rallied him
apologizes
after that.
to the fans and everything like that.
Yeah. Um, all right. So should I log into Fourth Wall and show you guys what it looks like on merch? And, we can design it live. What should we do? Should we wait and have a conversation about this on Monday, or do we want to like design it and I can load it up tomorrow? And then it'll be available on Monday's show. What are our thoughts?
I mean, that's your call. That's your call. Because Monday's going to be a very busy show because you're going to have Hurt, you're going to have CP3, you're going to have Sith, you're going to have me.
Right.
That's 4 people on here that's going to be talking about this Commanders victory. I don't think you're going to have a lot of time for a t-shirt design.
Yeah, no, not even a design, but I was just say that we could show it before we load it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, or whether or not we want it already ready to go for Monday. Is
Oh
I wouldn't
man,
do yeah, Photoshop. Joe.
they posted on Fox Sports NFL, Fox on NFL's X account Apparently Dan Campbell got emotional at the press conference after the game. He said, quote, "It hurts to lose, man. I don't care if you're the seventh seed, 6 seed, 5 seed, 1 seed, because I've lost in all of them damn near, and it stings," end quote. So Dan Campbell taking this one personal.
Yeah, for sure.
Hold on, I gotta hear this. Wait, let me listen to this real quick. Wow. Dan Campbell is really taking this loss hard. Like, I just listened to the soundbite from his press conference. He is taking this loss extremely hard. You know what that tells me? That's the mark of a coach who is devoted and dedicated to his team, that he is taking this loss that hard. They asked him, as he's very emotional, they asked him about the 12-man penalty that gave Washington the first down, and all he could say as his voice is cracking is, "It's my fault. It's my fault." That's the type of coach that you need on your team. If your favorite team doesn't have a coach like Dan Campbell, your team is ass. Like,
I'm happy that we do that. Our
huh?
coach, I think our coach is another
Oh, our
Dan.
coach Dan Quinn is amazing. He is
Yeah,
such a fiery coach. Anytime I hear I see the videos on social media of Dan Quinn speaking out in a locker room after a win or a loss, I just want to run through a wall for that man.
yeah.
Okay, that's the type of coach you need. Someone like a Dan Quinn or someone like a Dan Campbell. Okay, someone that is this passionate and emotionally invested in this team, and it's just amazing to see that. And Robbie, I'm gonna send this to you because you got to watch this. Even you'll look at this and be like, wow. That just shows you, because there are a lot of coaches, they'll sit there, they'll be very monotone and be like, "We didn't do this, we didn't do that. It's gonna be a long off season, this, that, third." But Dan Campbell is like showing them. They had such a great season, 15-2, number one seed in NFC, first round bye. They were 9.5 point favorites in this game. Everybody in Vegas expected them to come out and beat the crap out of us, and then we turned around and ran them out of their own field.
I wonder how much CP3 bet on them, because he said he was going to. I hope that he actually did, or it didn't. If it didn't, then whatever, it worked. So, uh, but yeah. Let's see here. We're
Lil
gonna.
Sean, you wild for that. He said Dan Campbell only sad because his parlay hit. That's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up. Oh shit. That's so fucked up. It's funny, but it's fucked up. Oh man. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who in their parlay had the Lions, and they're all crying right now.
I'm
They're
sure.
all crying. It's so crazy to me that CP3, this is the second time he called such a monumental upset. The first time was when Pittsburgh was on that run and everybody thought they was going to run us out of Heinz Field, and we ended up running them out of Heinz Field. I thought that was hilarious back in
Yeah.
2020. And now almost over 4 years later, when everybody thought that the Detroit Lions was just going to run us out of Ford Field, and we ended up taking over Ford Field. Why not us? That's the motto. Why not us?
Yeah. It's crazy. Oh wait, maybe I have to sign with Twitch. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember how I signed it in the fourth wall. Ah, it's the Twitch. Um, Create a new project, design something new. I'm trying to log in and get the back end set up, and then I'll show you guys.
By the
How
way, for those of y'all that are watching that are wrestling fans, episode 270 of the No Spots podcast is in the can. It will be released tomorrow at 10 a.m. on Spotify and Amazon Music. Myself and Seth, we talk about TNA Genesis, the pay-per-view, the first pay-per-view of the year for TNA, and the first wrestling pay-per-view, well, technically first wrestling pay-per-view of 2025. Actually, Battle in the Valley was the first, but this is going to be the first pay-per-view of a U.S.-based wrestling organization of 2025. It's taking place tomorrow night for TNA. We talked about that. We also talked about the one of the worst kept secrets in wrestling. The WWE TNA partnership is now official, or as I said on the podcast, it's now Facebook official. And that's what we used to call it when you would announce on Facebook that you had a girlfriend or a boyfriend. It's now Facebook official. They have a multi-year partnership now, so you're going to see a lot more TNA wrestlers on NXT, and you're going to see a lot of NXT wrestlers on TNA moving forward for the next few years. I think that's a great partnership. We also talk about some other news and notes, including giving tribute to Bob Uecker, who passed away this week at the age of 90. Bob Uecker is a WWE Hall of Famer, inducted in 2010 after he made 2 appearances at WrestleMania 3 and WrestleMania 4. So we give a tribute to Bob Uecker on there. And we talk about the week in wrestling, including what was a very, very awesome episode of Raw, a good episode of NXT, a good episode of SmackDown, TNA's Go Home edition of Impact, going into Genesis, a whole lot of stuff. So make sure you check out episodes 270 of the No Spots podcast on Spotify and Amazon Music. And if you want to check us out live, we are going to be recording 271 on Friday, because this coming Saturday, or next Saturday, I should say. Well, now it's Sunday, so this coming Saturday, it's the second installment of the reintroduced Saturday night's main event. So we're going to be talking about all of that. So definitely go and check that out. It's not going to be on TikTok, Lil Sean, because TikTok is currently blacked out for a lot of people because of reasons. But hopefully it will be back sooner rather than later. On our TikTok, though, we have a lot of video game content on there, and I'm actually, hopefully, if TikTok goes back up sooner rather than later, I actually played some PGA Tour today and got 2 really cool clips that I want to put up, but I might have to put them up on Instagram. On my Instagram.
Yeah, it's funny how I was like starting to post stuff on TikTok recently again, and then they were like, "Yeah, we're getting rid of TikTok." So it was fun. What are your thoughts? I'm looking at the side here. Do we want this? This is the back of it. Do we like just the S, the logo, both? What are you can also on the sleeves put the S or the logo, so that's something to think about too. Right now, this is the front, which you can see what it looks like on dark. A sort of a sportier gray, black, or a red, which are the colors for this shirt specifically. We could go with it. This is the cheapest shirt, base cost, for everybody. So I was trying to save money for people. There are more expensive, like higher quality shirts that we can print on as well that has more color options. So we could even create different ones for people who want to, some could want higher end and stuff like that as well, or hoodies or whatever we want to do with that. So this is kind of where my starting place. What are your thoughts on? I'm gonna just look at red right now, just because I think a lot of people like red. Also, I just want to see what it looks like on black, which looks pretty good. So I put a glow around everything so that way it would pop. Thinking about adding a glow to the logo though and re-rendering it so that it matches everything, So this is why I like to bring it into there to sort of.
I like how it looks with the black, because that'll be the one that I would order is the black shirt, because I like wearing black and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I kind of like that one a lot.
Nice. All right, let me copy this layer style real quickly and do some back end things and re-render it and bring it back in there. This is why you test it and bring it into the software that you're going to be displaying it in, just to make sure that it all works out correctly. Do you think that the back transparent logo also gets a glow around it, or no? Just the S in the season? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know. My eyesight's not the best. What say you guys in the chat? Wait. Tell him to big lead the design, says interested panda.
And what?
Big lead the design. I don't know what that means.
I have no idea.
Make bigger.
Oh, the design? Oh,
I
sorry.
guess. Okay.
Is that what you want?
Okay. Okay.
It might be a slightly so I am in the background trying to
He said no, not he said no, not Zoom.
oh um
Okay.
I'm trying to this one needs to be above that layer. So I'm just playing with some of the stuff in the back end. So yeah, I think that actually does look better. And I'm gonna try to re-render it real fast and then we can import it into the other design. I'm sorry,
He said make the design take up more room. Make the text
got
bigger,
it.
says
So
Adrian.
right. So here's the issue is this box that we're working with is the box.
Ah.
So it all has to fit in there.
There you go.
So that is part of the concern there. So, I mean, it is a foot wide, so it's not a small box, but it does have to fit within sort of the center print. So that, and if you want it bigger, one thing that you could potentially do, is stack it more, right? So if you stack it more, then you can get it taller, right? And you can make things larger that way. So for example, you could do Why Not Us bigger 2024, 2025 above season and make them both larger. Donk it to the next round could be split. So donk it to one line, the next round, Taming, and then the Lions and NFC Championship below that. So it would be taller. So I can show you guys what that would look like. Let me save this as one version real quickly, and then we'll play around with it. So give me 1 second, and I'll switch back to Photoshop. Um, so this is first draft, and then I'm gonna make a save as. You should always do this, make multiple versions of the file, so that way you don't lose what you're doing, you know? Why not this second idea will be this file name. And let me swap out the stop share and then share screen and then this again. And so I'm getting a charger because I didn't expect us to go this long. Funny, last week we did a video editing stream afterwards, and this one we're doing a Photoshop, so people can see a little bit of both of what I do, which is kind of nice because I don't get an opportunity to showcase it a lot. All right, so you should see this right now. So my idea to sort of make things bigger, because I don't disagree with what you're saying, is it does seem a little bit small there.
Well, Panda had a nice suggestion here. It said make the 12 and 5 maybe 2 font size bigger, and then instead of to the next round, make where it says doinking it, says doinking it for the division. Though that might confuse people because
But it's like the wild card. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
like,
It was a wild card.
maybe it should be called the wild card doink.
Maybe. That's actually really good. Cause yeah.
wild card doink, something like that, you know? Because now I can make all these bigger. I still like the idea of maybe, let me try some things real quickly. Still like the idea of why not us being higher than we still have the season. Go over here. Playing with spacing now. Kerning and Kemming, two things that are really important when designing things. Um, two. I'm gonna draw some rulers here to see, sort of try to keep everything within a certain spacing. Um, so I kind of like it at 130 for a font size for that. And then if we were to do Taming the Lions, also that size. Still want this a little bit lower. So this becomes the new gold standard. So this is at 120. So we do this to 120. That. This also at okay. Now I take every one of these layers and I bring it down. All right, what are we thinking? Do we like how that looks? I've added some more spacing around stuff. It's a little easier to see. Maybe add a little bit more spacing between these. Just trying to make it so that it's easily sort of legible.
Panda seems to like it a lot. They
Oh,
they just said glow the background logo. I don't know what that means.
you think okay, yeah. That was where
Okay,
we're
you
gonna
clearly know what that means. You say, okay, yeah. I was like, I don't know what that means.
yeah, so what I'll do is I'll add the same effects that I have on this S right here. And
Hmm.
I'll add that effect to this background S as well. So paste the layer style there. Oops. And then I have to bring the opacity back down. I can decide how much we want to bring it in. So we can bring it back a little bit more and try to decide whether I like it better, darker or lighter. Let's throw it on a black background so you can, because that's your favorite color. And so that'll at least give us a sense. Um, I like it though.
Yeah. Holy shit, that pops.
Yeah.
Panda's going crazy in the chat for that one.
Yeah. All right. So now, I decided to hide everything else so people can see this a little bit easier. And I'll take out the guidelines so people can see it without that. So yeah, I think that that works. So I
That's
will.
that's really good. That is good. I'm definitely buying that shirt. Dead ass. Like I'm buying that shirt. As
Nice.
soon as it hits the shop, I'm going in and getting that shirt. That shirt is lit.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna make this S or logo a little bit larger, just show off
CT Music's
everyone.
in the house. What's up, Chris?
Nice. Welcome on in. We're just designing a new graphic for the new
Oh,
merch
Tina
store.
Tina likes it. Adrian likes it. Oh, you might got some potential buyers there, Robbie. I'm just
Nice.
saying.
There we go. All right, so I'm going to export it now. Just give it a second. This computer is crying. It's like you're doing too many things at once. Um, so why not us? Why not us? Second idea, export. This is a PNG, and then I'm going to switch screens one more time and swap it in. So start that screen share, and we're going to start this one. And we are going to zoom. We're going to delete this old version and we're going to upload a new one. Ah, I like
Adrian
the.
Adrian said Robbie is always doing too many things at once. It's one of Robbie's superpowers.
That's true. That is true. It's funny. I never actually ended our Facebook or any of our other segments, but people want to watch art on Facebook, whatever. Why not us? There it is. I love this. All right, the back. What do we think? S bigger, our logo across the top, both, something else, we can. What are your thoughts?
I kind of like this design if it's going to be on the back. I kind of like that.
Yeah, both with keeping it across the top and the S.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because if you
Also,
put
we
just
also
the
have two different
logo,
S's. This is the new S that I just designed. It's our brand new season 9 one, so it matches the other season 9 and also matches this new Sports THP logo. I also have this one, I think you can see in this corner, bottom down here. This was the old logo that was for that we used to use all the time. And in fact, this is the one that you see at the bottom is the one that's on the front. See,
yeah,
it's got the gradient, right? So do we want to have the same one as this on the back, or do I kind of like that the new one's on the back and the
yeah,
old one is on the front? It kind of shows,
right,
a journey, if you will. Um,
exactly.
I didn't know if that would be weird to too many people.
And I liked
Um,
having both on the back because you can have the logo, but there might not be people who may not recognize the logo. So
what the
having
logo
sports
is.
on the sports on
Yeah.
OCHP will help them recognize the logo and things like that. I think that's good. You don't need shit on the sleeves, man.
You don't think so? Okay.
Nah, nah. Just the front and the back is fine. You know what I'm
We,
saying?
we, we could just put the little District of Champions merch on the sleeve to bring it back to the old, like. But so you guys think, all right, nothing on the sleeves. All right, so
Nah.
let me just show you what the logo looks like on the sleeves, just so you can see. Um, and I'm just gonna put the other logo on the one, so when we preview it, just so you can get a sense of what it looks like on there. So that's what it looks like when it's rendered, right? And on somebody. And that's what it looks like with the little S's on the side. I just wanted to give you a sense of what it would look like with these.
You know what? Let's ask the chat. Oh, hold on. Interesting pattern. It's a little excessive on the sleeves.
Okay, all right, that's fair. I just wanted to show everybody what it would look like, so that way when it renders, um, I think I agree with you guys. So let's render it without it. So let's hit the preview button over here, and there we go. So that's the back. Oh, why is Why did it not save? Weird. All right, let me just pretend that we're gray real quickly and preview it and see if that just changes. Oh, it's still there.
Still there.
Gonna go back to the design one. No, but it's not there here. So I think I've glitched the matrix. All right, so we got white, black. I feel like I could give everybody almost all the color options. I don't know if I'd do green or navy, because why would anyone want those, right? But I guess I could. People want to celebrate something. I don't know, so that would be weird. It's weird that it's still the rendering with that. Yeah, I'm gonna take the green out. What do you think of these colors, though? We're gonna have a sportsy gray, which is like a lighter one. You have a dark heather gray, white, black.
I like it.
I think I'll pick
I like it.
the black the default, white second. We'll do the gray, then the red, then the sports gray in the order. I'm gonna run it through the render just to see what it looks like. So now it's rendered correctly. I just want to make sure, you know. So that's the dark heather sort of style, which a lot of people like. This is white, and people just want it simple, you know, which it looks pretty clean.
Yeah.
White. Um, and I think the black is my favorite. So, um, we've spelled everything correctly, right? That's always my biggest, worry.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna put it for $20. I'll make less on it, but I want it to be able to get into people's hands because there's still gonna be shipping and other costs, you know. And I think that's pretty reasonable. We're gonna call it "Why Not Us."
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, and I think I'll publish it now. And yeah, there you go. It is live, I believe. So. Uh,
W.
So there you go. You can also check out some of our other merch. We got the hoodie, that, and maybe tomorrow, now that I have the files, maybe I'll design a couple other ones like hoodie and stickers and other things like that that people can also do and make a whole collection from it. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. And what's cool is since we are live, let me just see if I can copy URL. Should be able to when you're live. Yeah. So gift to Twitch chat. So I wonder if that is available now. Hold on, let me just go back here. I'll click on it from here. Interesting. So that one doesn't show up as like I can order right this second, which I mean, well, hopefully it'll be available once we're live on air because all the other ones do have that um, listed. So I think that's just a glitch because we're making it live on air, you know. But yeah, so all the other ones are there. I have gotten as you can see, I have the hat on right now. So that's the Sports with THB hat. There's a lot of cool different designs on here as well. This is, I think, one of my favorite ones. It's like the HCT C9 shirt. I love that red. And yeah, we have the classic tee as well, which is a simple design. And so now this is kind of like a cheaper option. This is now one of our cheaper things that you can buy on here, which is kind of cool.
Oh wait, y'all have a phone cover?
Yeah, we do. It's you can choose all the different iPhones.
Oh, it's
And
only for iPhone?
yeah, I thought I made it that it could also do. Which one would you want if I could make it for other things?
I have a Samsung Galaxy A14. Like I said, I just got a new phone Christmas, so
Yeah, I will. I'll take that into account and see if I can expand it to other ones. I just for at launch decided just to do the iPhone because I saw that as an option. But I didn't see the Samsung one, but maybe there's a lot of different options in here. In fact, we can see.
Yeah, man, I would want a sports OTHP phone cover on my Android phone.
Yeah, let me see real quickly. Accessories, phone cover. Oh wow, there's a mag tough case for it that you can do it on that too. That's kind of cool. And clear ones for iPhones, but is there one for clear case for Samsung? Wait, is this it? Which one do you have?
I have, let's see, Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, S10e, S10, S20. Wait, they don't have the A14. That's dumb. Yeah, it's not gonna be for mine because mine's as you can see, it's a little bit bigger than that.
Got it, got it.
Pause.
Hold on. And maybe there's more Samsung ones. That might not be the only one. That was the first one I came across.
I
So
just happened to look down when you showed it because I just threw a dime to Dotson for a touchdown, 39 yards against the Giants. It was a dime
nice, nice.
on a pretty post pattern. They had two deep safeties, but one of them shaded way off to the right, while the other one kind of shaded off to the left, and let Dotson get inside on him. And as soon as Dotson got inside on him, I just let it fly, and it got to him just before the safety got to him to hit him, and he held on to it. So for a touchdown, I was like, okay, good.
Tough case for Samsung. I just want to see if this one has any of it. So these are all like the S20. What was your number again? It was the
A14.
A14. So these are like I guess all the S series, stuff like that. So that's too bad. Um, but if anyone ever has any of these phones and they want me to design something, feel free to send me a message and I'm happy to make independent stuff for people there as well. And yeah. So I'm gonna stop our share here and switch screens. And yeah. Big day tomorrow. Hopefully the Ravens get a big victory. I'm also
Hopefully,
hoping.
Ravens and Rams win on tomorrow so that we can have Tim on to be happy about the Ravens beating the Bills, and we could talk about going out west instead of going to freaking Philadelphia.
Yep. I just want to showcase this real quickly. I put this behind me. This was our original logo. Way back when we very first started, our very first one. Carol made custom shirts and he made them for me and for him. That way we get to put on together. They're custom on the back of, the old school Nats ones. We did our very first season from 2016. And these were the 5 teams that we repped back when we started. And, DC United got the Caps, who had a big win over this Pittsburgh. You got the Nats, you got the Wizards, and of course the Redskins, because that's what they were back then. And yeah, we've gone through a couple name changes, a lot of history. You can see all the different helmets behind me over there. But just what an incredible night, and I'm so excited for Monday because I really thought that feeling would only we get to celebrate one time, champ, and so now this is like the biggest victory Monday we've ever had, potentially, and I'm so excited to be able to party with you, Sith and Hurt and CP3 and that first hour with Gil. It's gonna be lit. 1 goal all week. That's wild. 3 wins. Can't beat that. Beating a rival on the same night that the Commanders advance.
Only the Wizards can get their shit together.
Yeah, I know they were winning at least, so there was some positive in that. But I think at this point you just want to tank. So who knows? All right, champ. So did you film your thing tonight? Was that pay-per-view tonight?
No, the pay-per-view Genesis is on Sunday night, but we did the podcast tonight
Got it.
and whatnot. So that, like I said, that's going up tomorrow on Spotify and Amazon Music. It's already been scheduled, so it's going to go up at 10 a.m. on Sunday.
Remind me, are you doing a live watch along of that tomorrow? No, you're
No.
not. Okay.
We stopped doing live reactions to TNA pay-per-views because most of the people that do watch our streams, which is like 3 or 4 people, they're only into either AEW or WWE. Not a lot of people are into TNA. So we kind of stopped doing the live reactions to those pay-per-views. Hopefully with this partnership with WWE, that more and more people will start watching TNA, and then maybe we might bring them back in 2025. We'll have to see.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm excited because on Monday, just as a quick little summary, 9 o'clock we'll be talking Caps, 10 o'clock we'll be talking Commanders, and then probably like 10:45, maybe 11 we'll talk Ravens. Just depends on obviously how they do tomorrow. But the other thing we're gonna be talking about is the NCAA finals for football. We always do a celebration for that. Usually it's our first show of the winter season. There was a playoff format, and so we are down to it here. The final game, the winners of the kind of the first real bracket, and we will be covering how that game is going live as well. So no Monday Night Football, so that will be in lieu of that, and I will have Raw on a second screen, and we can live
Speaking
react
of
to
Raw,
Raw as well.
Pat McAfee, who is the color analyst for Raw, will not be on Raw because he will be with ESPN covering the college football national championship game. So Wade Barrett will be the commentator because Corey Graves went on Twitter and vented his frustration about being sent down to NXT to do commentary, and now he's nowhere to be found. So, and we talked about that on the podcast as well. So no McAfee this Monday on Raw, but you'll get Wade Barrett with Michael Cole for Raw because McAfee will be at the site of the college football national championship game.
That'll be fun to talk about both those things live as well. So should be a really awesome show. I'm looking forward to it. It is MLK Day. I know that some people do have off for it. I will have a
I do.
crazy hectic day. I also have off for it. I will have there's gonna be snow on the ground tomorrow, so we'll see how that sort of sets up the next day. I think I'm going to a birthday party and then maybe doing a Pokemon event, but it might be too cold. Ironically, we're like chasing Articunos, and if you don't know, that's like an ice bird. So the fact that we'd be doing
Legendary
it
Pokemon, baby.
yeah, the fact that we'd be doing it in 20 degrees would be very realistic. I mean, I don't know. My
I was
son has
planning to drive Lyft tomorrow, but if it's going to be snowing and stuff like that, I'm staying my ass home.
Yeah, I would stay home and watching football, but maybe see if people want it, but I don't know. It's not looking good. It looks like it's going to start snowing any minute now, actually, because I can't believe this is already 2 o'clock in the morning. How long has this stream been? I didn't even know. Wow, we've almost gone 2 hours, champ. That's wild.
That's crazy.
But thank you everybody for tuning in and being a part of it. The fact that there's still 10 people watching this and it was literally came out of nowhere. It's the second Saturday stream we've had in a row too, which is not
You
any.
even had a hype train to start the stream, by the way.
Yes, yes. That's actually a great way to end it. I do want to thank people for being a part of this. Champ, you have resubbed for 28 months. So thank you for that. Tina Smith was gigantifying a couple of emotes at the very beginning. Tina also resubscribed for 6 months at tier 1. They've been subscribed for 28 months, and so they're subscribing for the next 6 months. So that's really amazing of them. She also gigantified some emotes later. Gifted a tier 1 to Davey. So thank you for all the support. Dreaming Truth also gifted a sub to Interested Panda, and Lil Sean followed me an hour ago. So thank you guys, everyone, for being a part of this. Again, we'll be back on Monday for our normal show at 9 o'clock. Hockey, football at 10, more football at 11, because I know it won't be contained. It's going to be a fun one. We'll also talk about the wrestling. It should be a good night on Raw. Do you know what the main billing is for Raw? What is the big event that they've got coming on this week?
I'm not 100% sure. That I know they made some matches during the Raw this past week, but I don't remember them. And stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot of final build towards Saturday night's main event. I know Jey Uso's challenging Walter for the World Heavyweight Championship. Not Dakota guy. Lyra Valkyria just won the Intercontinental Championship for the women, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be some fallout. There's going to be some follow up to that. And so I'm not sure what's going to be on the
I,
docket,
I
but
I actually just found it out, so I'm gonna just read it with you, and then we
go
can
ahead.
talk about it for a second. So,
Go for it.
so after losing to Valkyrie in the finals, Dakota Kai will team up with Eco Sky to take on the Pure Fusion Collective, and they haven't announced which one of those members would do it. Also, Sami Zayn will address the WWE Universe, defeated The Miz last week. Um, uh, and the first ever women's intercontinental champion will appear on Raw for the first time since winning the championship. And they haven't decided whether it's to wrestle or to cut a promo. And they also join a stat card which features Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, the New Day, and the return of JBL to WWE Raw. So,
So
um,
it looks like they're stacking the show again. Like they're really, really, really making Raw must see TV on streaming on Netflix. I mean, they and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Raw is slowly but surely returning to form as the flagship show for WWE because for a number of years Raw, which has been the flagship for a number of years, had fallen back to SmackDown, and SmackDown, in my eyes, had become the flagship show for WWE. But now Raw is slowly creeping back up to being the flagship. Though that's not to say that SmackDown isn't having really good shows either. But I think that now with Raw being on Netflix, with the flexibility that they have, they're starting to really come back to form as the flagship.
yeah, just wild stuff. Just seeing if there's any place I want to go. I think we're gonna raid Billy Wilkins, one of my favorite musicians. He's still on 7 hour stream. Crazy. So we will do that. Let me do sub raid, and to grab a call, we'll head over there. Thank you, champ. Everyone should definitely check out the No Spots podcast. Here's a link to all of that information for people they don't already know. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I can't believe it was a 2 hour show. We made merch. What a cool thing and unexpected. But I did promise Tina, so I'm happy we could do an art stream impromptu. We have a new Pokemon in 15 seconds, but I don't think I'm gonna stay for it. Anyway, Billy is an amazing musician, one of my favorites on Twitch. He's awesome. He's actually the guitarist for um through Dragon Force. That's the name of the band. Through the Fire and the Flames is all that was going to my head. And he did a cool little solo for that and did a battle during COVID times. And they loved him so much that they did like cut some promos with him and then invited him to be an additional guitarist on tour, gone to Europe with them and stuff like that. So let me catch Ultra Ball real fast to see if it'll let me do it. Anyway, we're about to head out. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Champ, for being a part of this. Thank you, Gil, for earlier. Hope that everyone has an awesome night. And yeah.
Sayonara.
All right.